Hey guys, my name is Dr. Sharrnael, Wolverton-Sehon with Swiftfire, and we have an awesome opportunity today to do a quick testimony on Citrine, Calcite, and Abundace. Okay, this is Citrine, and this beautiful green is Calcite. And of course, you guys are all very familiar with Abundace, and hopefully you can see that. Yes, awesome. And it's actually readable. Yay. So I have a special guest, Karlyn, who's going to be joining us today. She's actually in transit to Austin, but she stopped at a Starbucks on the way to be able to check in with us. And I'm going to add her to this group right now. Let's see, all your viewers to request join. Let's see. All right. Karlyn, I'm going to tag you, Karlyn. How's everybody doing Saturday? Hope you're doing well. On. All right. So Karlyn has a really cool testimony that she's going to share, and I'm excited. We've been trying to do this video for 2 or 3 times now and had some technical stuff, and now hopefully we got all this straight. So, all right, Karlyn, you here? Allow your viewers. Are you here? Karlyn, I don't even see you viewing yet. All right, there you are. Karlyn, are you here? There she is, looks like. Do your guess. Karlyn. Invite. Sent. All right. Yay. All right. Are you here, Karlyn? There's Amy. All right, we're waiting for Karlyn to pop on so we could do a quick testimony, Amy. All right.
Oh my
gosh.
All right,
yay. What happened?
Like,
I don't know. Let's see if we could get this so you're not over my head here. Oh, let me, oh, you know what? I could switch it here. Excuse the testimony. Okay. All right. So, yes, finally. I'm so excited. I was telling them that you're in transit to Austin right now, and we are going to talk about Citrine, and we're going to talk about Calcite, and we're going to talk about Abundace, and I was going to share a quick testimony, and I'm super excited because this is really cool. We normally would do this in our crystal group. We've been, since November, talking about how crystals and oils work together and the science and the frequency and the scriptural basis on frequency with all of that, and including the stones and the crystals. And it's been a riot. It's been super fun learning how God has given us all these amazing tools to help us with our journey here on earth while we're living in this earth suit. So, yes, are you smelling oils too? Which one are you smelling?
Stress away. Stress away.
It's okay. It's okay. So I'm gathering, I got some of my information. I want to give you the resources for how I got some of this information, but I'll be sharing that too in the post below. You can have the links if you're interested in ordering any of this stuff just for your own resources. It's on Amazon. But so basically, our testimony is about a year or 2 ago, I had picked up this book, which is out of print right now. I choose to know why. Okay, this is backwards. So this is out of print, unfortunately. So I'm going to move over here so you're not like there. Can you see this? It's called Feng Shui God's Way. It's a Christian lady. And it's out of print, so it's very hard to get, but it's amazing. And she goes into the Hebrew and the Greek and the secrets of frequency and all the stuff with your house. And the basic part of that is basically how we all have these energy centers in our body, but there's also energy centers in our home. And so that you can organize things in a certain way that'll help bring a better harmony or unity to your life, which I'm not an expert on. I read this a long time ago. I haven't read it in a while, but I just picked it up again. But when I was reading it, it was talking about citrine and how with citrine, that you want to put a citrine rock because of the energy. This is about abundance, about finances, about resources, about opportunity. And so what you want to do is you want to take whatever door that you walk in on a regular. So if it's your front door, great. If it's your side door that you walk in more, that one. Whatever the door is that you walk in most frequently, you would take one of these stones, go all the way to the back end of the corner of that house on the left-hand side, that corner, and you would place one of these stones because of the energy there. Now, I don't know, whatever, they've tested this and found frequency, but I just thought, well, what's it hurt? God makes all this stuff for us. I'll give it a try. And she gives a lot of scriptural basis for all this. And we do too in our class. If you're interested in looking into it, please check out the links. But I just did it, and I actually put two. I have two different ones, and I put them in the windowsill of the far left corner of my house from walking in the door. So again, if you're using your front door, then it would be there, and if it's your side door, wherever it is. Oh, what is that sound? Okay,
Me?
cool. Yes.
Probably it's rock.
Yes. Also, so I put it in the corner back of my house, and I actually made a ranked crown diamond that month, which is kind of interesting. I choose to know if it had anything to do with that. Of course, I was also always wearing abundance, like every day, like totally, like most of us. But I just happened to. So it's been a while now since I even thought about that. But when Karlyn is a good friend of mine, and she's in the process of some really big changes in her life, and I had just was reading out of this book, which is the Encyclopedia of Crystals, because I'm learning this and researching all of this stuff on my own. And I was looking up this green stone, calcite, because I had picked it up. I was just really drawn to this color, probably because of Destin, the emerald waters. We just came back from Destin, and the water was just like this. Super drawn to just, you got to pay attention to what you're drawn to, because it's what your body requires. The opposite of the oils. With essential oils, what you are repelled by is usually what you need. With rocks, it's what you're drawn to is what you require. And so the frequency of this, I looked it up in this encyclopedia, and it's calcite. It's Judy Hall's encyclopedia. And anyway, I've looked it up, and I started reading, and guess what? It's about abundance. It's about finances and all of that kind of stuff. And it actually refers to sea citrine. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that those were related. That's really cool. And then it got me thinking and remembering about how I'd studied citrine. So I went back to look up citrine and started reading about this again in the new book. Now, the old book has said to put it in the corner of your house from the door that you walk in on the left-hand side. Well, this book that I was looking at actually said to place a stone in every single room of your house, especially anything if you have a home office, to put it in there. And they said that the energy of abundance would be in every single room if you put them in every single room. And they even had a testimony or a special side note of if you're trying to sell or choosing to sell your house, that you definitely should be putting these in your house, because people would walk in when they were looking at your house and they would feel the abundance and be excited and choose to buy it. So win-win. So all this is just a backstory, but basically Karlyn, I had just put the book down of reading this all together, and Karlyn texts me and she's like, hey, random, just letting you know we've chosen to put our house up for sale. And I was like, wow, synchronicity, because I'm just reading about how you got to do you should do these things if you're putting your house up for sale. So I knew that she had somebody coming to look at the house the next day, and I was like, she doesn't probably have time to go run to the store and get a bunch of citrine rocks, right? And so mentally what I did was I placed citrine rocks in all of the rooms of her house, just mentally, because quantum things, you could do things remote quantumly. There's no time and space. We're all one. You know, God is in us. You know, think about in scriptures how Jesus told the centurion, hey, go home and, you know, they'll be healed or whatever. Like, we get the same power to do whatever. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to place the energy of abundance and citrine. I put on my oil for abundance on her behalf and mine. And I was also recollecting a book that I was reading called The Game of Life, which talks about imagination activation and how we can imagine or image a nation, how we can pretend or tend to as if something's happening. And as we image something or as we imagine something, whether it's through treasure mapping or outcome mapping or just in our own imagination with our decrees, we can actually, you know, see something be done and then ask questions like, well, now this is whatever desire we have. Now this is already done. What's new and different for me? And as we're thinking on these things and focusing our attention on those things and our desires and decreeing, then your limbic system can't tell the difference between real and fake. And your limbic system will pump out chemicals as if it happened. It'll tell your heart, hey, this already happened. Your heart pumps out a frequency, and the frequency goes out into the biofield of, hey, this already happened. And then you get a match. And so in this book, it actually used a testimony of this lady who was trying to sell her home or choosing to sell her home. And she had contacted the author and said, hey, will you please, Victory, I'm choosing to sell my house. And the lady said, okay, I imagine your house already sold and for a profit. And I imagine you calling me, telling me that the house is sold. And I was like, okay, so all the synchronicity of the citrine, the calcite, and this book, what I said to Karlyn, as I said, in my mind, I said, well, I imagine Karlyn calling me and saying, this house is already sold for a profit. And I sent her a text and said, hey, by the way, where are you choosing to move? And she told me Colorado or somewhere with the mountains. And so I said, now that she's in Colorado or somewhere in the mountains, what's new and different for her? What's new and different for me? And I imagined seeing posts on Facebook of the beautiful mountains and all the things that she would be sharing with us on Facebook about her journey in the mountains. And so I was picturing it like, you know, different for me is I enjoy seeing Karlyn happy. I enjoy seeing these mountain pictures and the beauty and the essence of her being in the mountains and enjoying that. So I didn't tell her any of this, and it was something that was done very quickly and just in my mind. Again, your imagination is so powerful. And so the next day, and honestly, I didn't even halfway even believe it, but I was just like, hey, what's the hurt of actually going ahead and doing it? Let's just give this a try. Let's do this experiment. The next day, she texts me and says, oh my gosh, we have an offer on the house, right? Divine, what do you think? So Karlyn, can you tell me what's going on your end of the world and how this all evolved for you?
Yes. We 2 years ago, when we gutted the house, renovated it, we had the house on the market for 26 days with nobody coming to see it, scheduling an appointment or whatever. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's really, they did a great job. And so then we've gone a couple years rocking on, talking about it, but not actually taking the plunge. And then my husband's like, I'm done. We're ready. Let's go. Let's put it on. So we had the previous experience of no hits, or I don't know the real estate lingo, but so we didn't expect like an immediate response. And the day after they uploaded the pictures, our realtor sends us this, hey, somebody wants to look at your house, you know. So I vacuumed my way out of the house and we left, and they came and looked, and she sent me another text and said the man wants to come back and bring his wife. And so we were like, whoa, must be interested. So we were gone like 6 hours that day, just letting them, you know, look around and take a gap and stuff. And we also had an appointment for the next day, somebody else wanting to come check it out. So that night, after he and his husband, he and the couple had checked it out, we got a text from our realtor, and she's like, they got an offer on the table and I'm going to send it to you. And we were like, oh my gosh. And it was so totally wow to us. So when we first saw the offer, they didn't quibble at all. Well, actually, I couldn't download the offer because of our lovely internet. But so she just told us what it was. And they didn't, haggle over the price. They just had another thing they wanted to tweak a little bit. And so then we countered the counter, and we were under contract. The same, it just happened so fast. And like, we're super excited about it. We knew it was like a God timing, but I didn't know any of the background stuff that you'd been doing. But when I sent you that text, like a couple hours later that night, and you were like, oh my God, I was about to text you, and then you said, call me tomorrow so I can tell you what I did. I went out there to my hubby, and I'm like, she did something about the house. I know she did. I thought it was like conscious language or something. I wasn't really sure, but I knew it was something. And so we're grateful.
Awesome. Yeah, and a bonus is she was not really choosing to bring all the furniture with her in the move just because of the cost of that. And oh my gosh, they come back and they're like, oh, and by the way, can we buy your furniture? And she's like, oh my gosh, like I don't even choose to know how much to even sell furniture for. So she was having to go through and look up prices and see stuff. I mean, it's not very old furniture. It's really nice furniture, but it's like more of a hassle to have to lug it all up to wherever she's going and just get rid of it. So she spent yesterday tagging all the furniture because they were going to come back and pick out what they chose to buy, and they bought some furniture. They're buying furniture too, right?
Yes, that was something really cool too, because like you said, the hassle of moving it all, and getting people to help, and all the expense, and it would be so much easier just to leave it all. And it is new, and it's like super good quality. And I was having a problem. I didn't want to just give it away and then have to go buy new at the new furniture price in Colorado, wherever we end up, but we think Colorado. And so when the realtor said they want to come look at the furniture, and then we left again, and they stayed, checked out the furniture, but they didn't say they were going to buy anything. And I was like, they didn't even give an offer. Like, I put hours of work into Googling the formula and crunching all the numbers and finding receipts, and oh my gosh. And that's the green in me. And the red wants to say, get it out of here, my red husband. Anyway, the realtor texted us back a couple hours later, and she's like, they do want to get some furniture. It's the wife wants it, and the husband, is ambivalent about it or wavering. So they gave us a price on the whole back bedroom suite side, and we took it. We took the offer. And I had to get that out of my mind, like, well, we spent $5,000 on mattresses, and, I'm not even getting that, that kind of thought. So it was like weighing it, but it just, and who knows, they might want the rest. It's not done.
Let's all agree for her highest choice and her best desires. If everyone could put your energy towards that, Carrie, and Esther, and Colette, and all of you guys on here, if you could continue to vote victory for the whole process of this happening, and fun and easy happening that way. But congratulations. I was
Thank
so
you.
You guys are creating your world. I love it. I love that. We are co-creators, and we get to co-mission and I hate labor. Let's co-play with God, because we're in his image, and he created the whole world just with his mouth, speaking it into life. And we get to do things on an energetic level, and by our decree, and by our subconscious. Even like, you didn't even have a dream for this to happen as far as the furniture. That was just an added bonus. God says, I know the plans are for you, and they're for good, and they're for your prosperity, and they're for amazing things. And we can call forth those things that are not as though they are. And so I love that we used our imagination. Again, the heart is the most highest frequency generator. So whatever you're thinking about and feeling, when that's in alignment, that's where miracles can happen, especially if you got the mind, the mouth, and the heart at the same time, then that's where really quick miracles happen. And so quantum physics, you know, like all I did was imagine it in my head that she's calling me and putting the citrine in there and putting on the abundance. And oh my gosh, voila, we're the magi, we're magic, we're in his image doing stuff, calling forth those things. And, you know, I've done that with oils before too, where I didn't have a specific oil that, you know, the book said I required. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to imagine that I am smelling that oil right now. And I am going to have this ease in my head, you know, or whatever, because I may have had some dis-ease in my head for the moment. I didn't happen to have my support for that. So I just imagined it and it happened. And I've had multiple testimonies of people doing that too, because quantum physics, God is real. He's in everything and he loves us and he only wants what's best for us. So thank you for taking time, Karlyn. You guys.
Thank you.
On your Starbucks stop all the way to Austin.
Right. There's my coffee.
Yes, if you're drinking coffee, put your oils on extra to keep your frequency high. And
I love you. Thank you.
Have fun. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.